everyone, welcome to Gray Man Prepping Tactical Tuesday. How is everybody out there doing? Yes, I got my crew with me. All right. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big Halloween fan, and there's a lot to this. I'll get to this with the backdrop here in a little bit here. But first, I want to say hi to everybody out there. So let me go up here to the comments and up to the top. All right, first one in was Phelan Clan Wolf. And next one in was Where to Begin Homestead. Hey, Janice. Brother Donnie at Prep for Eternity Homestead. Barry at Storms, Radios, and Cats. Steph at Idaho Garden Girl. It's Joe, the Garden State Gardener. He's Ubering. Okay. Then we have Grammy Karen came in. Moon over Miami. The Patriot Prepper, and see who's everyone's talking. Good. I like it when everybody talks to each other. All Things Acres in the house. Suzanne is here. Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man. And let's see, Nate Mitch is here. Mo Reese. Hey, I checked your channel out. Cool channel. Guys, go check out Mo Reese Dilk. Cool guy. All right, what else we got here? Wayne, the Ungrateful Peasant, is here. Barb's Country Home. Keeping up, trying to keep up here. Everyone's talking here. That's what's great when everybody talks. It's, makes it a little hard on me to pick out the new ones. Alicia's in the house. Shawnee's here. Hey, Mary Beth Smith's here. I have a feeling I'm going to miss somebody. Jujubee, welcome. Suburban Hillbilly. Peterson Farms of Nashville. Welcome, welcome. All right. Everybody's talking, saying hi. Old friends, new friends, everybody, Grace and Fire, hey, good to see you. And I'm caught up. Okay, so I got a special announcement before we get into the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to do I'm going to do a third giveaway tonight at the end for those that are in the side chat. I got a couple items here. I'm going to pull off of. I'm going to give away here. So don't go away. After I get the other two giveaways out of the way, I'm just going to pull for whoever's in the side chat. I'm going to do a random pick type thing, or actually I may do a first one to guess the number type thing, and I will give away extra to those in the side chat here. All right. So before I get going, so I have the 1,000 subscriber giveaway challenge which went on, and I have the winners who won that one. So actually I got to pull that up. I got to pull that spreadsheet up. I forgot. Oh boy, bad me. Okay, I got it there. So it is ready to come up. I was thinking ahead. I did pull it up. I just forgot to look at it today. Hey, Adventures of Outdoor Eagle, welcome. All right, so what I'm going to for those that don't know, let me grab the first. And I froze. Okay. So the first place prize for the Pastor McQuaddy's in the house. The first place prize for the 1,000 subscriber challenge is this. This is the 4th edition, greatly expanded and revised. This also is the color, if I get it to open up right here, the color edition. This is an $80 value, and I'll be giving this away. And this was donated by the authors, Joe and Amy, and they autographed it. So this goes to the first place winner. All right. So before I get into that, though, I want to show you guys some stuff here. So channel members get emojis. For those of you that channel members, go ahead and fire up a bunch of emojis for everybody to see. But I'm going to show you guys the big version. So got the gray man as one of the emojis. Got the gray man in the wasteland as another emoji. Oh no! Mount Rushmore blew up. That's another emoji. We got the Survivalist. For those of you who don't know, the Survivalist was a book series by my friend Jerry Ahern. And he's the one that got me into writing novels. All right, it's a little pirate time here. It's time for patriots to act like pirates. And because I used to work there, and just to remind you guys, the boots on the ground, the rank and file are right wing. It's the appointees up at the top that blow with the wind. Hey, Pamela, how's it going? And of course, if you know about my books, you know who Sarah is. Hey, 6 cents, Amelia. And let's see. Now, those are the emojis that are available right now, because for every channel member in there, every group or so, I get to add more emojis. And Gear Grinding 19 is a new member. Woo! All right, so future emojis. What's going to happen? Yeah, had to throw a minion in there. And every good prepper should have a fire stove, so I got that one there. And this, for those that don't know, is after the EMP. This is your smoke detector. When you hear it starts popping, you know there's a fire somewhere. I put that through this guy in there just because he's tough and he stands against the bad guys. And of course, I had to put our former Speaker of the House, Miss Plastic Face, in there with Chucky Schumer riding on the broom behind her, and the great nuisance governor of California flying. I almost said something I shouldn't have said, but he's flying around there behind. And those are the future. Those are the emojis and future emojis. So, and if anybody has, when I get those all posted, I will take recommendations for emojis. If you want to send me a photograph, basically I got to make sure, I got to get it squared up, perfectly square for it to sit in there, and then I can load them in when the time comes. All right. So let me get rid of that one. Drop that one down. And so we're going to start off with the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And we're going to, so I'm going to go over the rules and stuff so you know what happened with it and everything else. And let's come on. Let me drop over here. Hope this works right. I hope this, come on, there we go. And so this was, let me go ahead and kill off the banner. All right, so this is the Gray Man Prepping 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And to qualify for this, it was a challenge to see who could get the most people to join the channel. And so basically, those that qualified got others to subscribe, ring the bell, watch several videos, comment on the videos. I left 3 preferred ones, but some of them commented all over the spectrum. In fact, most of them commented elsewhere on videos. A lot of the Your Prep for Today videos got hit. And basically, they left the name of who sent them over. And so it goes through that. And the channel with the highest number of points and everything else, how they get a point for every person that joins and did all that. And so anyway, so it goes through in the monetization. And so the prizes are the book I just showed you. And I froze. Second place is a $75 Amazon gift card. Third place is a $50 Amazon gift card. Fourth place, $20. Fifth place, $10. Sixth place, $5. Okay. All right. So, oh shoot, I should have sent that over here so I could show everybody. Shoot, hang on a second. Let me get me back big again. And so I'm going to go ahead and escape out of that, keep that down to the side here. And did I put it over here? I need to check. I don't think I did. Give me a second. I need to do a quick email from the one computer to the other computer so I can show the results. I have it up over here so I can look at it, but I want to have it so I can show it there. Come on, come on, come on. Compose to Grayman. Winners. Attach. Sorry, folks. This is getting me a little, trying to get caught up here. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I hope I put it in the right folder here. No. Crap. Give me a second here. I have to pull a fast one here. File. Save as. And it's in, oh, it is in Grayman prepping on that. Okay, hang on. Okay. Make sure I got the right one here. And send. I'll give it a minute to come over here. Okay, so while that's coming over here, got 36 new comments. Okay, oh, Star's in the house. Star Homestead India is here. Chipper 66 is here. T-Borg has come in. Let's see, anybody else snuck in here? I think I said hi to everybody else that's in here. All right. Okay, so bring this up here. Come on. There it is. Now I can download it. Download. Control X, Control V. Drop that down. That. There we go. Okay, good. Here we go. All right, so the winners were already picking up. We get their points, and so I'm going to try to get this up here, right? Boom. All right, so I have the numbers here, calculation. So the winner of that, shoot. We got everything going here. I'm not sure. All right, so let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger here. You can make it out there. So the winner come on, the winner of the first place prize with 22 points was Phelan Clan Wolf. And so I know who he is. He was one of my scouts when I was a scoutmaster. And so he's I already got his email from other things. Then Chris Campbell gets the $75. Garden State Gardener gets the, so I know he's here. He gets the $50. And I got Joe's address already. I got his email because I'll just send it to him. $20 one went to Joseph Patton with 7 points. Meg Barker has 7 points as well. I need to do a toss up between those two because one gets 20, one gets 10, and then Sam Brown gets the sixth place. With 6 points, gets the $5 gift card for sixth place. All right. So I will be, and then some others were down below. Triple Threat came in next, and then actually Hedgehog, and then Carpenter's Alliance and Rebel, some others, but they were beyond the 6 point thing. So let me go ahead and take that down. And All right, so I have most of those. I have their emails already, so I can send stuff to them. And yeah, and Robert is in the house. Homestead Aquarius. All right, all righty. So stop snowing. Yeah, oh yeah. When it stopped snowing here, the temperature dropped into the 20s and the 30s below. I mean, like, actually, hang on. Let me take a look. See here. Refresh. And the temperature right now, according to the NOAA weather, is 5 degrees and dropping. However, when I was outside earlier and I did my measurement about two hours ago, it was 7 degrees. And so it's dropping. Yeah. Hey, Caitlin Strain's in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Rachel Knight is here from Hawaii. Woo, woo, woo. All righty. So those that just came in late, don't leave. At the end, I'm doing a giveaway for those who are in the side chat. I'm adding another giveaway. All right. So, but I am going to interject something here. Over on my other channel, Camp Pat and Family Compound, we're doing the weight loss challenge. We have, for team captains, we have Garden Warrior Q and Ungrateful Peasant. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other participants. I'd like to get at least 2 more people who want to try to lose weight, get healthy. Basically, we got 2 teams. We're going to have 2 teams. We're going to assign teams using the spinning wheel. And then we're going to, it's basically a challenge to see who can lose the most weight. But even though it's a challenge, it's a supportive thing too. We help each other out. Someone's struggling, each team, we help them out, with words of encouragement and ideas and stuff. And yeah, okay. So hang on. Do I got that up here? It's on Camp Pat and Family Compound. Do I have the? Hang on a minute. I know what to do. I know where I got it here. Give me a second here. I got to go to here, and I got to go to, and I got, boom. Yes, the CFC weight loss challenge going on over at Camp Pat and Family Compound. So it's on a lot. It's in fact, the last video I put out today over there. It's one of at the very end. I get links of a couple videos and stuff. It's the one of the links there for it, and it's been in several of them. So, all righty. So let me drop that back down. But so yeah, we've got several people participating. Star Homestead Indy is going to participate. Where to Be in Homestead, Garden State Gardener, Shawnee Shave, Wuthering, and myself are participating so far. We're looking for some more people to join in, because the more people that join, the more exciting it gets, and more exciting everyone gets about losing weight. "28 degrees feels like 22. Oh yeah, I know. All righty. So let me drop that down and get the other thing up here. I got some PowerPoints here to share with you guys, so I'll make sure I get the right ones going here. I did that one. I did that one. We're on this one here now. And get it started there. Okay, it's acting up here on me. Hang on. This one here is on that. There we go. And now it's working. All right, so pop over here. All right, so this is the PowerPoint for the Grayman Prepping. Channel member giveaway, and this we got a spin wheel for. And the rules for this were simple. You needed to be a channel member by 11 o'clock last night, because I got the wheel already all set up and in position. Ooh, Kaylin's wind chill is 8. All right. Also, the channel members need to be present here tonight. And, oops, get myself aside. And you have to respond within 2 minutes of your name being chosen. And, and then you need to email me. If I don't have your email already, you need to email me so I can send you the gift cards. And what are the gift cards here? Oh, first of all, if you're a prepper member, you get 1 entry on the wheel. If you're the gray man level, you get 2 entries on the wheel, and the survivalist level gets 3 entries on the wheel. The prepper level is 99 cents a month. The gray man is $1.99 a month, and the survivalist is $4.99. And they have a whole bunch of different things. Everything that the prepper gets, everyone else gets. But they, like the gray man gets a little bit more, and then the survivalist level gets some more stuff on top of that. All right. So, prizes are, first is $20 Amazon gift card, a $10 Amazon gift card, a $5 Amazon gift card, and because we went over the number, I added another $5 Amazon gift card to it. I did that last night because we had several people join before 11 o'clock last night. All righty. So, and now it's time for the winners. I wish I got to speed that up next time. All right. So, escape that, drop that down, get up the wheel. All right. So here is the wheel. And I got all the channel members on there. And I'm going to shuffle, 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 shuffle. So for the $20 prize, let's get it going here. And it is Phelan Clan Wolf. Okay. Oh, I need to get this up over here so I can see what's going on over there in the comment section again. All right. So, all right. So, Phelan, you still here? I know you were lurking earlier. And he's here. All right. So the first, all right. So I'm going to close that. I'm doing just like Joe does on his. They stay on the wheel. They can win twice or whatever, but they stay on the wheel just like Joe does on his Sunday Fun Day. I don't have the sound going. Sorry, I don't have the sound going on it. So let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, and hang on. I want to write this down so I have this stuff here. Okay, so $20 is Phelan. Helan. And for the $10, Wayne, the ungrateful peasant. Wayne, you're still in here, aren't you? Yeah, if I see you doing it. All right, Wayne. So Wayne's in there. I see Wayne there. I got his email. So Wayne gets $10. So I'll get that off to him today. And then close that one. And then shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. For the first $5 goes to Denise. Denise, you're still here? Let me know you're still here, Denise. So until I see Denise pop up on the up on there, she was in here earlier. Is Denise still here? Let's see. Oh, her name's not popping up. I don't see her in here. Okay, gonna give Denise a couple minutes here to show up. thought she was in here way back at the beginning, but if you don't comment for 15 minutes, it kind of, it doesn't show you in there. And if she stepped back out, then yeah, I can't pull her name either, Kaylin. All right. All right, so we'll go. I'll give her a couple more minutes here. I'll go and spin for the other $5 one. Shuffle and spin. Prepping to Endure showed up, and I won myself. No, I'm not gonna count that. I did leave my name in there just to get in there because I am a member for my other channel, both channels, just so we can comment and stuff. So I'm not going to count myself. Give someone else a a shot here. Janice, where to begin? I thought I just saw you comment. Janice, are you here? Let's see. Janice, are you here? I know she was talking earlier. Yes, she is here. And what happened? Okay. All right. I don't know what happened. I guess she was on when I pulled the numbers last night. She was on there for a member. I'm not sure. Oh, I know why she's not showing, because she's a wrench as well. That's why it's not showing up weird. Yeah, it is showing up here on the thing as a member. Okay. Scared me there for a second. I forgot when someone is a member and a moderator, the moderator overrides the showing up as a member. All right, so she got $5. Okay, and has anybody? I have not seen Green Granny come in. Nope, still not showing up. She still hasn't come in. Oh well, we're gonna spin again. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's been 2 minutes for Green Granny. Sorry. And we're gonna spin it. And who gets the other $5? All right, and Phelan gets another $5. He always was lucky as a scout. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring back up over here, and we're going to close that down there. So that's the members giveaway. Now I got a giveaway I'm going to do for everybody else. It's in the side chat here. I got to get some numbers here lined up here. Okay, so, and actually I got to get some products up here too. All right, here, let me get Amazon open over here, because I'm going to give away some stuff from Amazon. Amazon products, yay! Oh shoot. Okay, let's see here. Where is the list of stuff? I want to get stuff set up here so I can pull stuff out and drop it out here. Okay. Come on, where is it? Did I get rid of that list? Oh shoot. I'm going to have to do some hunting here, folks. Because it did not go over there onto that list there, so yeah. All right, we're going to bring up some other stuff here. All right, so I'm going to search here for let's Let's see if this pops up here with the stuff I'm looking for. Knife, UN. Okay, so there's one. Open that in a new tab. I'm getting this set. I'm getting some cool stuff up here set up for you guys. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay. Set that one up. Okay, that's number 2. And the third thing I want to get up here is see if I still got one here. I saw it earlier and I thought I've all right. Then come up under that one and do this other one here. Trying to find some cool stuff to give you guys. Come on. There it is. Yes, it's there. Okay. And put that one over there. Okay. Okay, so let me bring it up here and show you. This way. A 2-pack survival knives. I've given plenty of these out before. I used to give these to my scouts when they got their tenderfoot merit badge. They would get these. So you got 2 of them with fire starters on it. All right, so do not type anything into the chat until I type go. All right. And what you got to do is I want you to, the first one to pick the number that I got on this card here, pick a number between 1 and 25, between 1 and 25, not yet. Wait until I type go. All right. So when you see go, type it. Go for it. Oh, okay. Hold it. All right. We have it. The first one to get number 13 was Patriot Prepper. So Patriot Prepper, send me an email. Tell you what, I'm going to put the email I want you to use in the thing here. COM@gmail.com. Make sure that looks right. Yeah. All right. There is the email. And I'm going to tag that to the top here, pin it, so you can find it. There is the email there. And so it's pinned to the top. Send me an email and tell me that you won the 2 knives. Okay? All right. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put this into, so I know where to put, I can find to put in a put it into, well, where's Gray Man Prepping? I know I got a Gray Man Prepping. There it is, Gray Man Prepping. So I put it into that list so it's there, so I'm not going to lose it this time. All right, and the next one I'm going to give out here, okay, is Coulin's Fire Sticks. There's a pack of 12 of them. And so actually I'm going to go ahead and put this into Gray Man Prepping as well. So I have that there. All right, so I did this one. Okay, also, just like before, wait until I type the word go in there. And then between 1 and 25, type in the number you want to pick. So go, there it is. It's going to see who's the first one in here with the numbers. Not yet, 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 not yet. Not yet. Bouncing all around it. Nobody's getting it. Nobody's getting it yet. All right. Okay, hold it. We got it. J. The number 10. Right there, 10. All right, J. Send me an email. The email's at the top of the list there. And you're going to get this here. Okay, let me get the next one up here. And I need to add that to the list so I don't lose sight of it. Gray Man Prepping. Add to that list. Okay. All right, the next item I'm giving away, folks. Boom, here we go. I'm going to take J out of there. All right, so is a backpack stove with a pezzo lighter on it, and it fits onto these other type things here. So it'll come like that. It's made by Gas One. All right, so fuel is not included. You got to buy your own fuel, and actually, if you hunt around, you can find some really good deals on Amazon, or you can get Walmart. Okay. All right. So between, let me write it on this one here. All right. Between 1 and 25. Let me get ready here. Wait till I type it in here. I was in a room, I'd probably yell. All righty. All righty, here we go. So, wait till I type it in there, guys. Anybody before I type it, the word go in there doesn't count. All right, there's the word go. Let's see what happens here. I'm looking. I don't see it yet. Don't see it yet. Oh, got it. Here it is. Hang on. Where'd it go? Just jumped. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Shoot. So I got to scroll back up here and find it again. There it is. Wow. 21. Susan Marshall. So, Susan, up the top and pinned there is the email using the Camp Patton Family Compound, my other channel. Go ahead and send me an email. And so everyone, include in your email your address, because basically I'm going to have Amazon ship it to you. So I need to have your Amazon mailing address. Wow. Woohoo! Fun stuff here tonight. So yeah, crap, I forgot who else. So Susan did that one and that one. So guys, Wayne got one, Susan got one. So I think it was Wayne. Crap, now I forgot who did it. I got to scroll back and see who the winners were. So Susan got the gas one. All right, who got the knives? Who got the knives? I'm trying to remember who got the knives. All right, so who got the knives? Need to recheck the knife one. Big Chase won the knives. Or Big Chase won the knives. Knives are disputed. Big Chase says I called somebody else. Hang on here. Let me see if I can go back up to that. Back up far enough. Let me see. Okay, I got to go up to at least 837. All right. Oh yeah, it was 13. Back up here. See what I had the first one here. Okay. All right. That one says Big Chase first. So I'm going back up to see what I had up here. See if it'll show. Because what shows up on yours sometimes is different than what shows up on mine. We're coming in first here. So I'm going to go back up here to the top. I'm back up to the beginning one here. So going to clarify it. Okay, so there's the go. And you're right. Okay. So when I said go, I don't know how I missed Big Chase. Hang on a second here. So I'm going to show you what I got here. Actually, hang on. Let me make that back big again. So there's the go from the first one. And it was 13. And Big Chase got it. Sorry. Yeah, so Big Chase got for the first one. And how did I miss? How did I miss that one? I must have looked at it wrong or something. The first one was 13, correct? Yeah. So let me put my camera back up here. Earthquake! Oh no! Okay, so Big Chase got the knives. Knives. All right, and then the fire starters. Let me go back down to here. So who got the fire starters? I can't remember. So who got the fire starters? Hey, Hat Creek Homestead. I am so screwed up here. I apologize for the confusion on the first one there. That one went flying by so fast. I knew I should have. When I thought about this, I didn't put it on slow, so it would go a little bit slower. All right, so the fire starters. Jay, that's right. Jay got it. Fire starters is okay. So guys and gal, send me the email at Camp Patton Family Compound. I need to know and put in there, what you want. I got that written down here, but put in there what you want and include your shipping address that you get stuff that you have stuff shipped from Amazon to. And then that way I will I will go purchase it and have it shipped directly to you from Amazon. Okay. And because I screwed up, I'm going to do another one. All right, let me get another card out here so I can write on another card here. Do it right here. All right, okay. Okay, and we're going to do this one quick here. All right, this is going to be the Sharpall 6-in-1 knife sharpener. I actually won one of these from I can't even think of his name now. He has a homestead over in eastern Idaho. Oh man, Butch from Butch over in eastern Idaho. And I did a review on it and tested it out and showed it. So I have a video over on Camp Patton Family Compound on it. But I'm going to do this one here. And so this one here, I'm going to do, what number am I going to put in there? There we go. Got the number written down. Let me go back to the bottom here. All right. And so when I type go, wait for me to type go, then you can do it. All right. And go. So I'm watching for the number now. Close, 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 close. Oh, hold it. Make sure. 24, where to begin homestead. That's Janice. Sharpall. All right, got it written down this time. Want to make sure I'm scrolling back to make sure no one else beat her in there. I do not see a 24. I see a chorus of 25. Hey, Gunslinger Outdoors. And some 23s. Nope, she was first one, so Janice got it. Woo! All righty. Decimals again. Yeah, I know. Somebody likes to put decimals in there. Several people did. Hey, spicy tuna rolls. All right. Yeah, Juby did too, but after I was the first one in, though, was Where to Begin Homestead. All righty, so. All righty. Okay, so I got it third number. Hang on. Back up here. Let me look again. Oh, maybe. Let's see here. Go. Okay, hang on. Let me look again. Thank you for keeping me honest here. All right, so let's show what I got here. Okay, so there's the go. We're 18, 23, 23. And that's what threw me off. Comments in the side there. Yeah, so, yeah, Juby had it there. And, yeah, where to begin, didn't get it till down there. Yeah, okay, where to begin, didn't get down there. Yeah, so, all right, got to correct that. So that is, back up here to find it again. Yeah, so Juby got it there. Boy, man. Next time I'm going to do informational facts. All right, so let me change that to, sorry, Janice. Go back to the beginning here. All right, Juju, send me an email with your address on it. Or Hangman. Yeah. All righty. So, all right. So I got it written down here now. All right. So send me the emails, preferably tonight, especially Jubu, because right now it's 38% off. So yeah, give me that email tonight. All right. And so going to go back over here and take that down. All righty. I try and keep things a little fun and exciting. Sometimes it gets me harried, but I try to. Prepping should be fun. It shouldn't be all doom and gloom. It should be exciting. It shouldn't be all doom and gloom, guys. Hey, even these guys get up there and dance and sing. Use the StreamYard giveaway. Oh, you mean I've tried. I used to be able to pull everybody that's in the chat and throw them into the wheel, but the wheel hasn't been acting upright, and what hasn't been letting me do that. Yes, it will sharpen a Ginsu knife. Yeah, I'm still learning some of these giveaway things, trying to figure some of these things out. But I used to be able to just click on the top of it and on the top of you on YouTube and say participants on it, and everybody had made a comment, and I could copy it and paste it in there. The last several times I've tried that, it wouldn't paste, and it put someone's name in there and it put a blank space, and someone's name in a blank space. Exactly. Prepping is a way of life for me when I grew up. I grew up with my grandmother canning, my mom canning. We had cows, chickens. It's just, I grew up. I was surprised that most people didn't have chickens. That most of the people in the area where I grew up had chickens. And this was in the San Francisco Bay Area. They had chickens or goats or pigs or cows, and I was surprised that most people didn't have it. All right. So let me do one thing here for the, I'm going to put that in there now. All right. Did all the winners? Did you get the email address from up above over? Up over here at the top of it, because I'm going to replace that here. But you can also find it on my Camp Patton Family Compound, bottom of any video over on Camp Patton Family Compound. So I'm going to got the link here for those that want to come up. So there we go. And so, Ventures with Eagle Outdoors, Wayne, Old Ways, Moon, Star, Suburban. Anybody wants to come up here, any of come on up here. Got to show your face. That way, you're coming in there somebody pretending to be somebody else. Alrighty. Now, just so you guys know, let me go ahead and clear this stuff out here. Actually, I just need to drop that down. So right now, and all right. Sorry, I'm hitting a refresh over here. Make sure I get the proper information here. Going up here. That's interesting. Okay. So right now, wrong button. I hate it when I hit the wrong button. All right. So just guys, to let you know that when I hit 1,500 subscribers, I'm going to do another giveaway. And hopefully it won't be quite so crazy. Of course, then maybe you like crazy. All righty. Yeah. Always plan ahead. Absolutely. Oh, about the guys. You guys wanted to talk to you about the guys here. Hey, Disabled and Prepping and Kimberly. And, that's an interesting way of spelling that. I've seen it spelled a bunch of different ways. That's the first time I've seen it spelled that way. That's cool. All righty. So about the guys here. This here is a snapshot from a parody, and I froze, a parody video. And I'm going to pull that. I'm going to kind of show it to you here. Hopefully I can do it right without getting dinged on it this time. Okay. The song is called it's a parody of the Backstreet Boys. The group here is the Merkins, but they're a regular band, but they do what they call the Slash Street Boys, Backstreet Boys / Street Boys, and let's see if I can pull this off right without getting dinged here and do it right. And of course, give me the choice to do it. Man, this thing here is skip ad. Internet's acting up on me tonight. And this thing's just acting up here. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is the Slash Street Boys. I'll Kill You That Way. I'm going to drop. This is funny. I guarantee you'll be laughing your pants off on this and singing along with it. All right, there's the link to this video. It's the Merkins. I'll Kill You That Way. Official Backstreet Boys parody, and they're going along, and it's really cool. It's really funny. You're not hearing the sound because I don't want to get dinged on it. But all right. I don't see if you can read the words there. It's, I'll set you on fire with gas and a lighter. You'll scream like I'll kill you that way. Okay, so there you go. That is the Slash Street Boys, and that's what I do. I'm a big fan of Halloween. I love poking fun at all these bad guys and everything else on it. Moon is subscribed to him. He's seen a lot of. They have a lot of parodies out there. They do parodies of Vanilla Ice slash baby. They do George Michael's You Gotta Have Faith. They do a bunch of them and they're totally hilarious when you got Michael Myers being George Michael Myers. And yes, it's absolutely funny. All right, so if anybody wants to come up here, we'll talk about other things here. Everyone's talking, it looks like seeds now. Oh, that's the other thing. Garden State Gardener. If anybody is, Joe's in there. All right. And if somebody could drop, I know Joe's out Ubering right now. If somebody could drop Joe's link in there, go to Joe's channel. He's put out these registration video for the February Wheel of Seeds. So every day he spins the wheel. If you on the registration video, you put on the wheel. He spins you. You get he gives out seeds every day. In fact, I won today on it. There, I know several other people in here have won seeds on it from Joe. He gives seeds away every day on the Wheel of Seeds. Also on Sundays, he does Sunday Fun Day, and he gives away seeds, yarn, other things for about an hour. And he has a registration video. It usually comes out Friday night or Saturday for the Sunday Fun Day registration video. And if you're a channel member with his channels, like I did with my channel members, you get put on the wheel besides what's on the registration video. And so you get better odds there too as well. All right. So there's some, I think that's Joe's link there. Or that might be a video link for that. I'm not sure. But Wayne's having trouble with the camera. And I froze. One of the things I want to talk about here is so I have different series of videos I'm trying to do here on Gray Man Prepping. I have the Your Prep for Today. Oh, and there's the registration video. There it is, right there. The registration video for the February Wheel of Seeds. All right, so check it out. Get over there and get on his stuff there. Because hey, if you don't plant a garden, you're not really a prepper. I'm sorry, you're not a true prepper unless you plant a garden. All right. One of the things so I got the Your Prep for Today. I try to put out videos every day. For a while there, for about 9 months, I was doing one every day. I was doing Your Prep for Today. Yes, Wheel of Seeds. Joe does Wheel of Seeds, and actually, okay, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Bring it up here. Okay, it's giving me a Garden State Gardener. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Garden State Gardener. He does also videos of people, little short videos. I almost peed myself watching the one he did today here for Ridge Life on it. He has some has a program. He lip syncs them to singing songs. Anyways, so like the Wheel of Seeds. Here's the Wheel of Seeds right here. This is the Wheel of Seeds that he did today. And so, but Joe does a lot of cool stuff on his channel. Like he has Tim at Ridge Life singing, and he has Jimmy Pepper singing, and he's got all sorts of shorts and stuff. Really kind of cool, funny stuff. Great guy, gives out a lot of stuff. It supports a lot of channels. So that's what the Wheel of Seeds is. It's all about him giving out seeds to everybody. In fact, I did my today on Camp Family Compound. I did my mail call video about 5 hours ago now, where I had some of the seeds that I gotten from Joe from one of his other stuff. So, all right. So, anyways, I have your prep for today. I have prepping for beginners, basic stuff. Videos on prep for beginner preppers to know where to start, how to work, things that they should look at. I have the prepping in private video series that I'm working on, where we talk about what's known as OPSEC, operational situation, where you make sure you don't broadcast everything you're doing. You don't show everything you're doing. So that's one of the things that. Oh, and we got Wayne here. Hey, Wayne.
I had a webcam mishap.
Webcam mishap, yeah. And so that's one of the other things I have. Now I'm just starting a new series here as well called Preppers Shorts. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing videos of me doing different exercises, 30-second video exercising, 30 seconds a minute video exercising. I'm going to try to go back and find some of the old Jack LaLanne exercises, because my mom used to my mom used to do Jack LaLanne as a kid. I used to, when I was at home, I used to exercise with her too. So there is some, I want to do something like that, just shorts for people to say, oh, do this exercise today, do that exercise today, different things to do to help everybody get in shape. One of the other things, let me pop this up over here real quick. Get my spreadsheets. Yeah, I got spreadsheets for everything. That's.
I'm gonna make. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna make videos too, then hashtag and link your channel to them.
Cool.
Since just to help the team out and show some of the things that I'm doing, because I spent most of my adult life weighing in every 6 months and playing sports on top of that, so I know how to cut weight fast.
Yeah. So yeah. And this guy here has been putting on the weight, so when we actually kick off the weight loss challenge, he can lose more weight. All right. Okay, so I'm doing channel members only videos, obviously, because I have channel members. Prepping for beginners, prepping in private, your prep for the day, Prepper Shorts, Prepper Pantry, where I actually cook stuff from my pantry, from my Prepper Pantry stuff. So those are some of the ones I'm doing. Now those that are in here, I was thinking about possibly moving something like the prepping in private or the Prepper Pantry into channel members only. I don't know. What's your guys' thought on that? So side chat, what do you think? If I, for the, especially the channel members, if I move stuff, one of the other streams into members only, what do you think about that?
Maybe do like the more detailed stuff as channel members only, and then like some just basic stuff as everyone,
Okay. Oh, I can do. That's something I have. That's something I haven't done yet. I got it on my to-do sheet here. Scroll back up to the top of it. Things I was planning to do was like building your prepping, building stuff. How to build stuff. Like build how to build a stove. I did something like that over on Camp Patton already, but it's been ages since anybody's looked at that one. But how you can build a portable backpack stove or bug out bag stove. Let's see what I got here. Show projects. Make a water distiller, a water filter stick. Bug out bags, stuff like that. More I could do more advanced stuff for the preppers. For the channel members.
Because that's what I plan on doing for the new channel, and I'm working on building Wayne's Americana.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have regular videos, and then for anything that's like gun kind of content or anything a little more stuff like that that's sensitive on YouTube now, because I don't even know what you can do on YouTube anymore. That's gonna be either on Rumble or on Patreon or something.
Yeah, I can create a poll I can create a poll for both members and a poll for everybody else and put it on my community tab. I'll get that out. I can get that out tomorrow. Oh, there's a suggestion right there. How to repair, whatever. Lord knows I've done a lot of repairs on my tractors and stuff around here. Pins shearing off, things coming unscrewed on for the bucket controller and getting that put back together.
Oh, yeah, pin shearing.
Repairing the water lines in the house here. I did that was a bunch of videos I did for a year and a half ago here over on Camp Patton Family Compound, but I can do stuff like that here.
Let me know if you
Okay,
ever
Susan
have any...
Marshall. I live in a condo, very small yard. Put in 2 raised plants. Bought another. I just want to grow more tomatoes. Yeah, cool. All right, Susan. Go over to Camp Patton Family Compound, my other channel. Go to the playlist tab. Look for My Garden. There are 2 videos in there you might be interested in. The house, all right, just so everyone understands, I'm in Idaho right now. My wife is still working in California. She's still in the California house, the house that I bought before I even knew her. There is no lawn in that house. It's all garden or concrete. We've got driveways and stuff and everything is garden. You might want to check out some of the stuff you live in Utah. Check out some of the stuff my wife has done in there, all the different type planting or stuff that she's done, the pots, the tubs and everything else. You might find it interesting for growing stuff. And she's grown some decent sized tomatoes there. Also, you should find some of the tomatoes I did here I took a 55-gallon barrel, cut it in half, 2 halves, filled it up with my compost potting mix. I had some awesome tomatoes last year. And those suckers were up. I was reaching up to pick some of the tomatoes. Yeah, Kaylin likes my wife's garden. And so, I'm got to get things ready here. So when my wife retires in several years and she comes here, we're going to be spending probably one whole spring moving stuff up here that can be moved up here to be put up here. Let's see. Yeah, I have a bunch of, make your own food storage shelves, how to make lighters, candles. I've done some of these over on Camp Patton Family Compound, but I can review, to give updates on the videos and do those here for members and stuff, for some of the stuff here. For I was a disabled prepping, said some people can't afford it. Okay, the prices for channel membership here. Actually, let me pull this other one up here. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up. Come on. Show me that. Okay, so here is my channel membership levels. The prepper level is 99 cents a month. Heck, you can buy, that's cheaper than buying a Starbucks coffee for all year. One coffee gets you all year for some of those stupid ones at Starbucks. The Gray Man level is $1.99 a month, and the Survivalist level is $4.99. I know most people are not going to get the Survivalist level. Patriot Prepper, I believe, has the Survivalist level. All the things Acres has the Gray Man level, and I think everybody else is in just the Prepper level. But what the levels include, so the Prepper level, these are things that are for members only. These are members only videos, members only community posts, where I post, I'll link other people's videos into it too. But you can get it as a video finding service, posting pictures and other stuff. Will be doing members live streams only. I'll be doing some other things that are included in there as well. Then I have the Gray Man level. You get everything the Prepper level gets, plus you get monthly classroom instruction, where I'm going to do a lot like a live stream, but it's going to be an interactive classroom. I'll probably be doing it remotely, like I did. Had my other camera where, like I was doing the concrete when they're pouring the concrete. I was walking out there, videotaping everything, live stream out there, as I do teach you guys how to do certain things and topics for the Gray Man level classrooms. I want to hear from you guys what you guys want me to teach you about. All right. And then the Survivalist level gets everything beforehand. In the Gray Man level, they get everything before, plus they get 12 hours per year private streaming, one-on-one. If they want help, but they don't want everybody else to know what sort of help they need, these are strictly confidential private streams between me and thee, and we will cover whatever it is you want to talk about. You want to know about budgeting. We can work on budget stuff, and if you want, I can. My wife is an accountant. The staff sergeant is an accountant. She's a big budgeter. I can bring her in to help talk about budgeting with you if you want. Okay. Now, how to join? Yeah, all right. Someone's trying to say how to join, so let me show you here. Anyway, so that's the change that, escape that. So on a shoot, gotta get this over one back up over here. Okay, so on the videos here, let me go ahead and actually I'll show you like on Joe's, how to do on Joe's here. Let me get Joe's video up here. Actually, I'm already a member of Joe's, so I can't show it on Joe's. Let me see. Who am I not a member on? That's what happens. Okay. Let me see here. Trying to think who has memberships that I'm not a member of. Oh, if you're if you're on the phone, sometimes you can't do it. But let me show you something else here real quick here. Actually, I think there is a way to find it as well. Another way to do it. There we go. So I'm going to bring this up here this way here. All right, so back that up here, and trying to find something here. If I can do it right, because I don't want to go telescopic here, guys. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to stop it there. Okay, so actually, let's put us down at the bottom here. Maybe not. Yeah, put us down at the bottom. And all right, so right here below the video, right, this one says where it says see perks. It'll, if you're not a member, it'll say join. So if you want to become a member, you click on that, and it will show you the different levels. And I'm not sure if it's going to show here. Let me see. No, it just goes to show perks. Go back. But it'll show that you go in there, you can choose between the 3 different levels to choose from. And it went there. Okay. And so yeah, you can pick whichever of the 3 levels you want. You can and you join and stuff. You can use I know you can use a credit card. That's what I usually use because it does it automatically every month, and I don't drop off by accident. Yeah, I'm a member of White Family Farm. That's the problem. I'm already a member of White Family Farm, so I can't. Yeah, I can't show White Family Farm. I'm just trying to think who I'm not a member. Hang on, I have an idea. Arms Family Homestead, and go to. See if this works here. I'm not sure. Okay. Looks like it's going to work here. All right. So, like on Wide Family, this is Arms Family. I'm not sure how many levels they have. I click join. So they got 2 levels. They got the Armsteader and the Creek Monster level. And whichever one you click on, it tells you what they get, all the different things on it. So, and you click whichever one it is you want to join, whether it's, like for mine, it would be whether it's the Prepper, the Gray Man, or the Survivalist, and then you click join, you get it showing, and you get join. That's how you join. Also, in the description of this video, I'm going to see if I can bring that up here. It has as you scroll down, it has the descriptions, and it has the yeah, okay, yeah, it has the description down below for the for what all the videos are. I mean, what all the levels are and how to join. Okay, so, but when it comes to content here on Gray Man Prepping, even on Camp Patton Family Compound, for my live streams on Tuesday nights, are usually topic driven here on Gray Man Prepping. Right now, let me go back over here. I have coming up on Tuesday nights. Next Tuesday is sanitation in the winter. The following Tuesday is one that was requested by Keith Kronk. Keith has been a subscriber of both my channels. Corsair Trainers. He's probably a subscriber of Wayne's channel and Grateful Peasant as well. He's subscribed to a lot of the Good Guys channels here. And his one was, hey, he emailed me and he said, Steve, Corsair Trainers, and myself both agree this is above our pay level. Can you do a topic on prepping with and for family members with disabilities? Start cutting. What are the extra things you got to do when you're in your family that has a disability? And so that's going to be in 2 weeks from tonight. February 14th is prepping for family members with disabilities. The 21st is going to get a little comical. We're going to talk about the Metro Prepper. What the heck? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Metro Prepper. The 28th, we get serious again. And Steve should come up on this one because this is right up Steve's alley. Romancing SHTF. What could go wrong? I think Steve would be all over that one if he's available. And I got on March 7th, you only have 25 canned foods to stock. So you got 25 types of canned foods. You can't just say like soup, so it's got to be like chicken noodle soup, canned beef, canned chicken, chili. What 25? So that's what we're going to be talking on that one. And then on March 14th, it's going to be a question one type one. And we're going to hopefully get a lot of people up here and a lot of input from the side chat on this. What foods have you seen shortages of? And I also want to know when you see a shortage here, like, oh, I didn't see this for several weeks, then they'll have it back. But they're short on something else now. That's the type of stuff we want to talk about. All right, Juby, have a good night. Hey, Deb Z, how's it going? Or Debs. All right, and so that I also some of the ones I have set up here for Gray Man Prepping. Any topic that you think I need to address, please do. And for those that are kind of new here, quick background. Yes, I used to work for Homeland Security. I was the emergency management coordinator. I helped set it up. I wrote all the emergency response plans. Of course, the one plan got totally ignored by the CDC. But we're not going to go into that one. But some of the other topics I'm doing over on Camp Patton. Coming up 6 more weeks of winter. Recycling things for odd purposes, favorite and most used garden tools, main goal for 2023, or one main goal for 2023, networking, local and long distance, pick one crop. If you've got to pick one crop to grow and sell, what crop is that going to be? Why have non-food livestock? Pick one livestock to raise and sell. Why that particular one? How soon is too soon to plant? Easter weekend, we're going to talk about just one. Farmers markets, what are your plans? And so those are some of the items we've got going over on Camp Patton Family Compound. And like I said, these two channels kind of go like this, don't they, Wayne? Homesteading and prepping go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. And it depends on where you come from. Like I come from a survival aspect. I grew up in the mountains, so I grew up with a lot of wilderness survival. My grandparents always had a pantry and a garden, so I come from that background. And then eventually you get into prepping, just because it's if you come from a family that already kept a pantry or you kept stuff for emergencies, it kind of goes hand in hand. And then eventually everyone ends up at homesteading.
Yep. I mean, hang on. I got gear. You can't retire until you're 80. Hey, I retired at 62 because that was probably the best time in year for me to retire from the federal government. Yeah, I mean that's why I'm up here. I'm getting this place ready. My wife is still working. She's 8 years younger than I am. She's still working. And we're getting everything paid off. I'm getting everything ready. So when she comes up here, she doesn't have to work on putting things together. It's all ready for her. Oh, Ramadan starts on the 26th. I forgot about that. Okay, Kaylin. Hey, you can always catch the replay. Yeah, all right. My grandmother was born in 1899 up by Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. They called it the farm. It was more like a ranch farm. They raised cattle, they raised sheep, they raised pigs, they raised a lot of crop stuff. It was like a big homestead. She was one. She had well, basically. So my grandmother had 14 brothers and sisters. Actually, 13 brothers and one sister. So there were two girls and 13 boys. Sorry, I froze there for a second. They had a 3-seater outhouse. Seriously, you open the door and there's 3 seats.
Yeah, my grandparents had a 2-seater right next to each other.
And they grew stuff. They traded with the the Indians on the reservation up there. They became very good friends with some of the Indians up there. In fact, there are certain types of fishing that only Native Americans can do, or the non-Native American, so long as you're with Native Americans. And they used to go fishing with them. They'd make them jams, jellies, and stuff, and trade with them. They raised most of what they ate. What they didn't raise to eat, they sold livestock to buy what they raised. And so that's how my grandmother grew up. My mom grew up with all these aunts and uncles talking about that, doing that. She used to go hunting with them, go hunting for a week. And while they were out there, they would shoot a deer. They would make jerky out there in the field while they're still hunting for more animals. And no, Tibor, I have not seen a 4-seater back-to-back, but I have seen a 6-seater long one at scout camp. You're muted, Wayne.
We had a lot of seasonal processing growing up in the Northwest because my grandparents had a huge vegetable garden, and my grandpa, he grew up old school in the mountain or in the woods of Minnesota, moonshining with my great grandpa, and it was all sustenance living. They would cut all the firewood in the spring for the winter to season,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the rest of the spring and all summer they'd run moonshine, and then all winter they'd build furniture in the garage, and they hunted, garden, fish, and all that. And when my grandpa left and came out to the Northwest, he did the same thing. So deer season, everybody get their deer, take them over there, hang them, process them. During the salmon run, same thing. Everybody be out fishing. We'd just be smoking tons of fish.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. Once my wife gets up here, we will probably, she told me not to get chickens. And I talked about this last night on Camp Family Compound about chickens and stuff. She wants to get, my daughter's been getting the white Cornish cross boilers. They're just a meat bird. And my wife wants to get some of our own, and we'll do it more on a clock schedule than what my daughter and her husband do. But then she also we've been talking about possibly getting Easter eggers, the chickens that lay the colorful Easter egg, it looks like Easter eggs, and then we'll sell those at the farmer's market. There's a lot of stuff, my wife really wants to get into the farmer's market, both for buying and selling.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of that out at when my wife was stationed in California for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't doing a whole lot of farmers market stuff, but we were hitting all the flea markets because she sells, like we buy raw gemstones, have jewelry made. She makes jewelry with real stones and stuff. And then also we had a t-shirt press, and we were doing that kinds of stuff, and a plotter. And I was doing leather work, and we were selling all that at the flea markets. And we're about to get started doing that out here again too. But I kind of hope to do the same thing with some eggs and a few other things. And because people out here, there isn't really a big farmer's market, but every little holler and every little turnoff leading into the town, there's always like a turnoff before every little town. And there's always people out there on Saturdays selling and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's huge flea markets out here. There's one up the road. We're about 14 miles from the Cumberland Gap,
Yeah.
and there's one right up there between us and the Gap, and it's crazy. It looks like a West African shanty town. Like, it looks really bad, but it's always packed every weekend. And then if you go south, if you go down towards past Morristown, like near Sevierville,
Mm-hmm.
there's huge, like they look like big warehouses, and they're like weekend flea markets that are just filled with people, I guess. So
Yeah.
we're about to start going and checking those out and figure out where the good places are to sell and who to trade with and everything.
Fruit delivery trucks start coming to Minnesota in February. Strawberries first. Just picked up our deer from the butcher. Cool. The yeah, that's one of the things that I've been experimenting with here is strawberries. You know, I got strawberries out there, but we've had these two really nasty freezes up here. You know, when the polar vortex hit back in November, into November, December there, and then we just been having the last several nights we've had some even worse than what the polar vortex was. But it's just been for the 2 nights, and it's warming up again. It's still colder than heck, but it's starting to warm up a little bit. And let me see, check here. Yeah, we're getting back up. Our high was below freezing for 2 of the nights. Tonight's high or tonight's low is 0, supposedly 0. I bet it's going to be more like -10. But our high tomorrow is 21, 27 on Thursday. So we're warming up a bit. We get up to 30, 33 on Friday, 35 on Sunday. So, we're getting up above freezing again. So, but the strawberries out there this year, last year, the snow caught me off guard. A snowstorm came in. It wasn't supposed to snow. The weather report said all of them said no snow. It came in, dumped 6 inches of snow, and just covered the strawberries before I had a chance to put the straw in them. This time I got them all packed with straw and everything else, all the onions packed, and we're going to see what survived come spring. Uh, 36 there. Tomorrow we're berries at. But yeah, the getting stuff to grow, that's something you got to figure out and start planning ahead of time. Don't jump into it. Oh, we're going to get chickens. Let's go to stop off and get a bunch of chickens. Get home. Oh, we need to build a chicken coop. Oh, we need to learn about what do we feed the chickens? Learn all that stuff first. Get the skills and knowledge first. Before you start buying chickens, before you start buying pigs, sheep, goats, alpacas, cattle, whatever it is you're going to grow, look into it first. Bees. There are plenty of books on bees. Plenty of videos here on YouTube on bees. Is it Ridge Life that does the bees? Is it Tim at Ridge Life that does bees as well and collects them? All right, to stay a little prepping. Have a good night. And so, so I just catch up on the chat, some of the comments there. This is something I'm getting my information. I have learned years ago to get all my information together before I go to my wife with an idea. Soaps, I'm not so much on. There are several people out there that are making soaps. Heaven's Essentials makes soaps and sells them. Bountiful Harvest Abby is making soaps and selling them too on her Etsy page. But what I'm going to get up here and get back over here, get up to my accounts here. And come on, I got to show this. Where is it? There it is. So I started researching for making candles at, let's see if I can do this, switch this around here a little bit. That there, maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. And so I've been looking at different things. All right, this one went out. Stuff comes and goes on Amazon. But molds for making Easter candles, Christmas candles, Halloween candles. Because Halloween candles will sell better because they're still the farmers market is still open as we're getting closer to Halloween. So I got all a bunch of Halloweens. I got all the different types of paraffin, the different blends of paraffin wax picked out, different molds, regular candles, molds for making regular candles, wicks, all the different things here, different types of wicks, everything else, the color dyes. And this comes and goes. And this one, price dropped.
Do you have a Hobby Lobby out there, Gil?
Yes.
Now, Hobby Lobby is really expensive, but they have rotating sales. And if you can catch items on sales at a decent price, they have these giant sheets. They're like probably 28 by 28 of wax, and they're like 2 inches thick. And I'm waiting for them to have a sale out here. When they go on 40-50% off, I'm going to go to every Hobby Lobby in the area and buy all of them and then start candle making.
There is a YouTube video out here. Was it? I may have this wrong. The title, "The Dirty Secret About Hobby Lobby Sales," or the hidden secret of Hobby Lobby sales. Well, they talk about they do certain things on certain days and stuff, and it's not every week. Like it's every other week for some of the sales, and they talk about different ones, and so you know when to go in and look to see what's on sale. And some of the stuff on the sale is not advertised.
And they're on like a 6-week rotation on all the things that go. Like from what I've seen, because when we were in California, there was a bunch of them around us, so I used to stop in. I would just take the time when I was going to school because I didn't have anything else to do. So I'd stop at different places just to look around and see what was on sale. And just from my own experience going in there and looking around, they were on like a 6-week rotation. And if you could catch the things at like 40 or 50% off on the right day, you could get a good price.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to change something up here. I'm going to put something more colorful up behind me. There we go. And that's one of the things too. Once my wife gets up here, she plans to do a lot of canning. And one of the things I got to get on it if I figure out here. But the things have been kind of weird this last month. I got the indoor propane stove. I got the pressure canner. I just got to cook up a bunch of the ground beef and can it. And so I make stuff that's ready for a pull out to make hamburger helpers. It's already cooked, already has the seasoning stuff in it, and make quick stuff like that. How to make some meatloaf in canning jars and stuff like that. But yeah, the making wax candles. We've had several people when they moved out of California give us boxes of candles. So, but the thing is that a lot of them are the thin taper candles, the long ones. But we got all sorts of colors, so it's going to be like, okay, we're going to take this, melt this down, and reuse this. You reuse this free candle wax, all the same color, and make things.
Yeah,
we got a lot of oranges and greens and red candles and whites, lots of whites. But I make a lot of pumpkin candles. Make a lot of Halloween stuff.
Save them for making wax slugs.
But yeah, there's a lot of things. I got to get her to get on board with this. The thing is, though, I have the stuff to do it. We have 2 of the induction cooktops, small ones, the portable cooktop tops, which are perfect for doing wax because you can set the temperature on it and you don't have to use a double boiler. You can just put a pan on there and it won't get too hot where it vaporizes it to where it causes danger from a flashover or something, but you also don't have an open flame. And you can set it so it just melts it, and it's the right temperature for doing your wax and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have this induction cooktop here, and I've had gas since like 2007 or 2008, and I hate it. It just, I can't. It's weird because it cooks different every time I cook on it.
Yeah. I got the what type did I get here? DUXTOP is the brand name. Both of mine are the same one, and I've had nothing but good luck with them. Once I realized, I can change the. It's a 1500 watt unit, but I can change the percentage of the wattage.
Okay.
It comes on at 750 watts. I can turn that down, or I can turn that up. It comes on at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I can turn that down. I can turn it up. All right, Glenn, see you later. And there's a lot of things I can do on it. But when I was doing the wax, it was great because I played with it the first time melting wax. Look at, too hot, take it down a 10 degree. Perfect. Take it down 10 degrees at a time. Oh, perfect. It's working just great. And so, I did a bunch of, candles in a can, survival candles in a can. And so I did a bunch of those. But there's a lot. I want to get more into other type candles. I also want to figure out how to do the multi-wax pourings, where you got multiple colors and you pour it at the same time, and someone turns the thing underneath, so you get this model pattern of colors swirling around in it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a 4 or 5 person job. You got 4 people pouring and 1 person turning the lazy Susan. We're all pouring in the same, keep it that way. Our pours are in one spot. It's just that the mold is changing. Oh, Barry, no, sorry. Yeah, so making candles is something that I think everybody should know how to do, and how to do it safely. It's not as simple as putting a pan on a propane stove and melting it. If you're going to do it on open flame, you have to use a double boiler. So you got the water, so you don't get it too hot.
Don't do it like me over a backpacking burner, pouring it in shotgun shells and stuff.
You didn't have a flashover, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not completely retarded.
You're just dangerous.
Yeah.
But one of the things I want to learn how to make is my grandmother used to talk about it. They used to make candles out of the lard and tallow.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And they specifically made some big gas candles, excuse my French, out of bear fat, rendered bear fat.
You can do a lot of things with bear fat. You can make dummy loads for antennas and stuff because it'll handle the RF and the electricity.
Cool.
Yeah. My dad's been a ham radio president of the ham club, all that stuff his whole life. So I learned all kinds of stupid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Good night, Janice. Oh, she's just heading off to watch the rest on the TV. No more chatting. Okay. She's going to go get comfortable away from the computer. Oh, I just realized something. Yes, it is getting cold in here. Excuse me while I turn on my Mr. Buddy heater over here, because it's getting down to 60 degrees in here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, getting the bear fat is the tricky part.
Yeah,
The only way to safely hunt bears with bait,
yeah,
and they made that illegal in most places now.
yeah.
I mean, that's the
Well,
way we grew up hunting them because it's the safest way to hunt them, and it's the most ethical way to take a shot at them. But all the
yeah.
tree huggers made it.
So I got my Mr. Buddy heater over here, Mr. Heater Buddy, hooked up
Oh
to the
yeah,
30-gallon or 30-pound tank or whatever. That's one of the ones I did. That's the one I did the review on. Sitting right here again. I did the review on that I picked up at Costco, and the Costco got some more in, and they're still at the $79 with the hose and filter kit included.
oh cool.
The hose and filter kit is like $60. Is almost like $60 on Amazon.
Yeah, I like the Mr. Buddy heaters. I got a couple of them in our containers out in Arizona.
Yeah, yeah. I got the one in here, and I got the one with just the green bottle in the master bath because that is the coldest room in the house.
Yeah.
Getting the bear fat is the tricky part. Now it's talking about getting the bear fattened up, or are you talking about getting the fat from the bear, Robert? Getting the fat from the bear is not the tricky part. Well, we've chased down quite a few bears, never got a good shot at them. Yeah, the pork belly fat that is lard. Fat from pigs is lard. Fat from cattle is tallow. I'm not sure what it's called, what the fat from bears is called. And chicken fat is just grease you put on everything to make it. Sorry, folks. Chicken fat is just grease you put on everything to make it really slick when you don't have WD-40.
The whole Crisco candle thing.
Denise is here. Denise got here.
I've never gotten into that just because I got so many candles and wax and stuff laying around anyways that Crisco's more valuable than me to grease my pans.
Tibor, it doesn't matter. Propane is propane, and this has the ceramic catalytic thing on it. So it does come. It comes with the carbon monoxide sensor on it, so it shuts off automatically. Sean in Alaska has been using one of these in his camper trailer thing for 2 years now during the wintertime.
Yeah, I've used them with the 20-pound bottles and stuff, no problem.
Yeah, it's the same propane in it, whether it's in the green bottle or the white ones. The only difference is when you're using the hose, you want to make sure you have that filter on there, because sometimes in the manufacturing process of the hoses, there's when they manufacture them, they use oil for lubricant, and the oil vents out and will screw up the heater. That's why you have the filter on there to trap the oil so it doesn't get in there. Now the Mr. Heater hoses are manufactured without using the oil. That's why they're a little bit more expensive. So you really don't need to use a filter, but they still say it's a good idea because you don't know what's in the tank. Being refilled several times, you can get crap in the tanks.
One thing you gotta be careful too is condensation. Those tanks will get condensation inside of them as well.
Yeah.
From going from cold to hot.
Yeah. So it's with this, usually I run this on low, so it's not pulling a lot. And such a big tank, it's not going to cool off that much. I only run it for in here, like I'll run it for about 2 hours and I'll warm it up in here, and then I turn it off. But I don't run it overnight. Nope. All right. See you later. Rendered chicken fat is called
schmaltz.
Schmaltz. I call it chicken grease, and we just use it for lubrication. There ain't nothing slicker than chicken grease on a doorknob. Oh. And my grandmother used to say that all the time. Well, that's slicker than chicken grease on a doorknob. And I decided to try that out on my cousins. my one cousin was 11 years older than I was, and big guy. I mean, he's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's built like a brick house. Always has been. Never had to work out. He just it's those genes from being up in from his grandparents being up in Idaho. Goose grease, but it doesn't come from. Yeah, that just comes right through a goose. But yeah, I got he used to chase us around. We tease him, he chased us around, pick us upside down by our legs, get us shaking, laughing, and he'd drop us. Well, I greased up the doorknob going out of the kitchen, and I got him chasing from the one room of my grandmother's house all the way up through what was called the long room, into the kitchen, out the other side, closed the door behind me. He went to grab onto that door, thinking he was going to yank it open, keep going fast. Hand slipped off it, and he hit the door.
I did something similar once, but I put KY jelly on the floor.
Yeah.
And as soon as they came off the carpet, it hit that tile floor.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. On the boxes, it says indoor safe as well. A lot of reviews, indoor safe. There's third. Actually, Debs, it's T-Bor. T-B-O-R. Tennessee-born, Ohio resident. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's it actually with all the ventilation in this leaky house anyways, I can go the back door until it's deadbolted. You can go up and you can feel the cold air coming in. The cold air comes in the laundry room door, goes out the bathroom vents, and goes out the fireplace. So the fireplace, is sucking air in. The front door has a gap. I keep on trying to put stuff in it down to the bottom of this much of it. No matter what I put in there of the weather stripping stuff, I put weather stripping in there. 2 times open the door, it's gone. And so I got a little cold breeze coming in there. So yeah, it's fun. This
house has a lot of air gaps. I'm gonna have to, once things warm up this spring, I'm gonna go, because I don't want to do it when it's cold out.
Yeah.
Once it warms up this spring, I'm gonna go hit all the air gaps in the doors and the windows. And
yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of people disagree with me on this, and you can disagree with me, but my mindset is, with a lot of modern housing, with a lot of the plywoods and the OSB boards and stuff, and the chemicals used to make that crap, you don't want an airtight house. If you've ever been in a brand new house and as soon as they get it built, a subdivision house, and they build them quick and then they lock them all up until they sell them. When they crack those doors on there, I've seen people get sick after 15 minutes in there from all the fumes.
Yeah.
Because for quite a while they used formaldehyde in manufacturing plywood and paneling especially. So there's a lot of the stuff. I'm trying to find the foam weather stripping, not the rubber stuff. The rubber stuff just rolls, it peels, it doesn't stick right. The nice, soft, squishy foam insulation stuff. If I can get some of that, I could put that in the corner and the door would close up against it and it would stop the breeze from coming in.
Yeah, one of the things I got to do is a room that I'm sitting in now is built out over on the side of the house.
Yeah.
There's posts below me and it's open so they can pull their lawnmower and stuff in. It's kind of like a little carport dealio. Well, the bottom they use China board, and if you know what China board is, it's like a super cheap plywood with all the little pieces of paper particle glued together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't use that stuff outside, so all the air comes in the bottom, and so I got to pull all that off, and I got to repanel it with some good plywood, and I'll probably put some of that plywood siding over the bottom, just with some tar paper as an extra moisture barrier because it gets humid during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is I got to go dig those posts out because the guy who lives here before me was a teacher and he thought he was a carpenter and he was a retard. Even though
As David at Southern Ohio Prepping said, "Oh, you mean he was an educated idiot?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up working construction. We were all contractors in my family. So this guy, he was just one of those people that thought. The problem is people that know better will think about stuff and they'll stop themselves from doing it, or they'll learn to do it and people that don't know any better. They have all the confidence in the world that they can do it. you know? And that's kind of how this guy was. Even though this is a nice house, there's a lot of things I need to go behind and fix because he thought he was a carpenter. And one of the things is I need to dig down those posts and see if they're just on concrete blocks. Because if they're just sitting on concrete blocks, then I got to dig a foundation. I got to at least go 18 inches wide, 20 inches down, and pour a foundation for the posts.
Well, Wayne, you're going to love this. The house across the street was built in 1903. The foundation over there is mortar and lava rock.
I'm
talking big chunks of lava rock.
I've seen a lot of that out here. The foundation is like mortar and like random stones pulled out of the river, which is probably like fine for, the early 40s or the early 1900s. But, and then you go in, and some of the houses we were looking at when we were buying a place out here, I would go in the crawl space underneath the house and I would look around and you see all the old beams and it's like, it's just like cinder blocks stacked up like little posts here and there holding up the house. And it's like, holy shit, there's like no building codes out here.
Yeah. Well, what's bad is, the lava rock around here, the basalt rock, the town's called basalt for a good reason.
Yeah.
There's 3 different types that I've spotted. There's a black type, there's a gray type, and there's a brown type. The brown type is fairly hard, almost like pillow lava, and it's it doesn't split well. It's fairly hard. The black type is a little bit is a lightweight lava rock, but it holds. I mean, it's still solid. The gray type, most of the gray type under that foundation is dissolving apart.
Yeah, the gray type is like a pumice. It's not real. It's not basalt like the black and the brown.
Mm-hmm.
How it's a real hard iron based.
Yeah.
The pumice, it's like the stuff that gets blasted in the air that's really light.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing.
Yeah, and it's some of the pieces you hit it, it's hard, but you get on the side where the water's been on it, moisture's on it a lot of time and stuff. It's like crumbling apart.
Oh yeah, it's because it's super porous.
Yeah, and so we know that either the house is going to have to get torn down in 15 years or so, or it's got to hire a company to come in, jack it up, tear that foundation out, pour a real foundation, and put it down. Actually, jack it up high, like 2 feet up, and pour 20 inches of foundation. So you'll lower it down 4 inches, because down in the basement, the guy dug the basement afterwards. This is going to offend a lot of people. I don't care. I'm going to say it. I apologize if you're offended by it. It's not meant to offend you. It's just the terms I grew up with back in the 50s and 60s. It's jury-rigged, oaky from a Stokey, baling wire and bubble gum put together. And I'm not going to use a couple of other terms, but yeah, the guy was an idiot. and shortcut everything. He dug after the one house was built. Then they moved the part of the old schoolhouse over and put it next to it and attached it. Then he went down, dug a basement under part of the original house and underneath the schoolhouse portion. He only dug it down so that he was a short guy, so he could walk around. I'm 5'10", and I hit my head down there on things sometimes.
It reminds me this one place we looked at. It's in the same county, and it looked like a single wide, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a house. It was like just built like the same dimensions as a single wide, and it had a cinder block foundation. It was about 10 feet down, right? And we go down there, and I'm walking around down there, and I'm looking around, and the basement was huge. It was like 25 feet by like 50 feet long or 60 feet long. It was kind of cool. Just this giant open space. And I'm looking up, and there's no beams. There's no 6x6s. There's no 2x8s. It's just 2x4 runners across the floor holding the whole house up. And I looked over at the real estate agent. I'm like, is this house held up by 2x4s? And he looked up and he's like, yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they get away with building some of the stuff they do out here,
Yeah.
man.
It's like in the house across the street, the old schoolhouse was a big, tall room, huge. And what he did when he moved it over here, he went and divided that and put a floor in, 2x4s, spanning across. It's about 12 feet, 14 feet maybe, spanning it. And that's the floor. 2x4s are the floor for the second floor.
Yeah, these were like runners going all the way, and they were just held together with like post bracings, like you use on fence posts, hammered on. And when I went back upstairs, I was walking around the house, and I get in the middle of the house, and I could just feel it.
Yeah.
And it was just built too. That's the thing. It wasn't.
All right, Hat Creek. Get better.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was built in the 60s or something. It was like brand new.
Yeah. I know there's in California they were experimenting with a different type of underneath structure, and they were using the at the time it was one of the first times they were using. I'm not sure what it's called. The truss work, the OSB truss work boards. And so basically you had a 2x4 on top, a 2x4 on the bottom, and you had a 3/4 inch piece of 3/4 inch, 5/8 or ½ inch piece of OSB, depending on how far you were going and what the load was for it. And my chiropractor, his father-in-law was one of the guys that engineered the first using it, and they built some houses, and they were in one of the houses that was built that way. And so the floor, it wasn't on 12-inch centers. They were on 24-inch centers for the floor because it was a 4-inch wide, 3.5-inch wide thing. And the flooring itself was 1 1/8 subfloor, not 3/4 inch. So, and walking on his floor though, the trusses were 16 inches tall, and it didn't bounce hardly at all. And I expected it to creak and have stuff, but he goes, no, it's 1 1/8 subfloor. Then on top of the subfloor is 5/8 particle board running the different direction. And and for a while, that's how a lot of the houses started being done that way. And then some people go, oh no, we don't like that. Some new engineers came out, for cities and counties said, oh, we don't like that. We don't care if it was approved and the state approves it. We're not going to approve it. So that fell by the wayside. But a lot of the new houses, they made them keep the 1 1/8 subfloor.
Yeah, out here it's really weird the way they do foundations on new houses. They don't even, I mean, maybe everything in Washington is overbuilt because it's an earthquake zone and we're on fault lines, but I have not seen like a stable foundation on any house out here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Earthquakes and hurricanes tend to improve building codes. So California and Florida have good building codes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of steel in the foundations too, you know. You get
Yeah,
a stem wall and a lot of steel in it. And
yeah. There's and so like this is all part of prepping folks too. Your house, is it built to withstand stuff? Is Kaylin still in here, or did Kaylin drop out? Trying to see if yeah, Kaylin. Oh, she was in here a couple minutes ago. She got booted. Had to come back in. Okay. I know she follows suspicious observers. Ben Davidson. I'm not sure how many people follow him. Good channel to follow. Really talks about space weather and the catastrophism cycle, which is finally gaining credibility again after the one dinglebutt that tried to bury it. He worked for the CIA. Went out, wrote stuff that was totally able to be debunked and just to be debunked, and it killed the whole field of understanding catastrophism and the 6,000 year cycle, the 12,000 year cycle of disasters and stuff.
yeah, I like that guy. So my wife did weather for 22 years in the Navy, and naval weather forecasters are the best in the planet. And I'm not even bragging, she's the best of the group. Um, so she told me, yeah, that guy's legit. Like, I'm pretty sure he did weather for the Air Force, the way that he does his weather and the way he does his forecasts.
Yeah.
So I think that guy really does know his stuff.
Yeah, I
And
mean, he's written what 2 or 3 textbooks for universities,
yeah,
but yeah, and he's had a couple of the professors tell him that he cheats because he has a photographic memory and he speed reads. He's like, yeah, so he can do complex things in his head, and so
in order to do that job, you got to have a photographic memory.
Yeah.
To do it right and do it correctly the way that they do it for the military. And that's one of the reasons we think he was like an Air Force weather guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, reading his stuff and everything. I've disagreed with him on a couple things, and I made comment. I kind of disagree with there's some other facts that you didn't include in here, and he commented back to me and stuff. And I said, yeah, all right, check for, and I listed off some old extinct volcanoes in the area he said that weren't in. And he went and looked and stuff and found, oh, wow, I couldn't find these on any of the lists, but now that you mentioned, when I go to research it, they pop up. Yeah. So there are more volcanoes in the United States than people think.
And there's a lot of stuff out there that won't show up on a list, but if you search it specifically, you can find information on it too.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot about the 12,500 year disaster cycle. I've been studying history my whole life, and I just recently went to school for it, and the school's a joke. I can tell you that straight up. I did a double in history and anthropology, and college is such a joke. The first class I took, the first thing the professor said to the students was, "This will be the hardest thing you do in your life." And I'm like, anybody going to die if I don't turn a paper in? I mean,
yeah,
it was such a joke too. But everything that I have studied, and especially focusing on like pre-Columbian, about all the different cultures that have come here before Columbus, which is also why I did a double in anthropology, leads me to believe that there's something to the 12,500 year disaster cycle, because the further back you go, the more evidence stacks up. And every time we think, oh no, human civilization only goes back so far. It only goes back 5,000 years. Oh, they find something that goes back 8,000 years, and they find something that goes back 10,000 years. And then there's some things that are completely ignored, like Quran. There's it's Quran or Karkan down in Peru, in the Peruvian desert. It
Mm-hmm.
is the oldest civilization in the Americas. It is as old or older than Egypt, and it is completely ignored by anthropologists and archaeologists and historians. Like, it doesn't exist. One of my professors was a dude who studies Mayan stuff. Right, he's like the lead guy in the world in Mayan studies. He found like the second biggest jade mask and everything recorded, and he I asked him, I was like, hey, or Carcal, about Carcal? And he looked at me, he's like, what do you mean Carcal? I was like, it's only like the oldest city found in the Americas. They find stuff from all the way over from like Brazil and other places, all this trade and everything. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they're so focused on like one tiny little aspect of things. And you would
Yeah.
think, being a historian and also being an archaeologist, he would have like a wide general bit of knowledge on other things, especially something in the same region. you
Yeah.
know? And it's like they completely ignore that. It's
Yeah.
And anything pre-Columbian that shows trade, cross-Atlantic trade or cross-Pacific trade or with other cultures, they completely ignore, like it doesn't exist. And all of their information that they go off of is off like other professors in the 50s and 60s who are going off other professors. Nobody has been digging and like coming up with authentic new research or authentic new sites that's not based on somebody else's work.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, one of the reasons I brought Ben up and he's been talking, quite pointing up, bringing up a lot more evidence in the papers that the people, professors, and these guys that come up with papers. They go, I meant you guys were yelling at me a couple of years ago saying I was full baloney. Yet here you just proved me.
Yeah.
And he's talking about he believes the evidence shows that we are due for the 12,000 year micronova event in the 30s or 40s.
Well, we're definitely due for something. I
Yeah.
mean, there are like the pole shift and the weather getting crazier and crazier, and the Earth's still going through cycles. And we've seen extreme cycles even outside of the last 12,500 year cycle during the last apocalypse or collapse or whatever you want to call it. Just coming out of the medieval era into the 800s, like Norway. Norway used to be able to farm Norway, right? And what drove the Viking Age was we went through a mini ice age basically, and it was getting cold up through northern Germany and the Scandinavian countries, and it pushed them all down. They weren't, the vast majority of them were traders. They weren't raiders, but they were also looking for farmland when they came south. Ireland, England, Scotland,
Yeah.
France. The biggest priority was finding farmland because it was getting too cold for them to farm up there.
Let's see if I get it right.
I mean, if you go back to the same region in like Norway and Sweden during the Bronze Age, while everyone else was suffering primitive warfare and everything else, they were having a golden age up there.
Yeah. Okay, I put it in wrong, so now I got to correct it. Little Ice Age, the Big Chill.
Or I got it right here actually.
There we go.
This is another book that talks about cycles and puts everything together. It's 1177 BC, the year civilization collapsed. This dude, this is like his life's work. He goes around doing seminars. He's a professor on this stuff, and No one knows why society collapsed around the Mediterranean, North Africa, and the Middle East during the Bronze Age. And they always say, oh, it was like the sea people, like one group of going around raiding people and cause all of civilization to collapse. They were going through a cycle like we were, where things were getting warmer. The weather was becoming unstable. They find people, they used to write on soft clay tablets and then
Hmm.
send them out on courier when they harden, and they find clay tablets from all these Bronze Age cities in different places talking about, oh, there's an extreme drought. Please send help. Ask this governor or this dude from this other city for help. Other clay tablets talking about warfare and people are starving. And all these different societies around the Mediterranean, they had a global economy like we have now, where they were interdependent on different products from different countries and different city states.
Hmm.
And during this drought, or their crops were drying up and they weren't getting water, the city states started fighting for resources, and the countries started fighting for resources, and everything was falling apart because they were all interdependent upon each other, because they weren't producing things holistically in their own country.
And this was the 6th and 7th century AD.
1177 BC.
Oh, 1177 BC. Okay. All right. Um, yeah, all right. There's something that was happened more recently. It's called the Little Ice Age, the Big Chill, and the time frame on it, depending on which experts, is from the 16th to the 19th centuries. Others prefer the 1300s to 1850.
Yeah.
And so, but most notably, one of the big time frames through it where things were noticed was in the 1700s, 1777.
During the
Revolu-
Revolutionary War,
uh-huh.
the years they spent at Valley Forge were like the coldest years on record.
Well, Valley Forge was the second one. There was another place, but they were better prepared for it. That was the year without a summer.
The Tambuska.
And it's that was prior to that in the early, I believe, one of the time frames on it. I'm trying to find it here. I believe it started, like they say, it starts at 1347.
Is that the Tambora eruption?
No, that's something else. I'll tell you what that is here in a minute. At that time frame, in the early 1300s, England was producing better wine than France.
Yeah,
we know that because there are in the stuff in France. France banned the import of certain wines from England and put heavy tariffs on others because it was so much better than French wine. Okay. It is believed one of the big causes of that is up in Canada. There was a big lake up there, and it was on the northern side of it was an ice dam, a glacier. And around that time, it got really warm, and that ice glacier got thin enough that it broke, and all that fresh water went out and disrupted the current, the Atlantic current. And so all that warm water that was coming up from Florida on up and around stopped.
Yeah.
And so everything went cold.
I think that's what happened during the 12,500 years ago when the comets that hit Iceland. Was it Greenland? I think it was Greenland, actually. Comets hit Greenland, and I think it superheated a lot of the water up on top of the ice shelves and eventually melted, and it came down and wiped out a lot of places in the northern hemisphere. And I think that's where we get all the flood stories from.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we talked about the little ice age here, and I found something else called the late antique little ice age, which was 6th and 7th centuries AD, also known as the late antiquity.
Heard of that one?
Okay, but you're talking about the flood story, the Noah flood stories. That was about 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago was the last. From what Ben was saying, was the last evidence of a um, magnetic flip,
Yeah.
where the Earth turned 90 degrees. And so, I mean, there's a lot of, you quotes all the evidence and stuff for all the water run up and everything else, basically like tsunamis, not tidal waves, but tsunamis and stuff. So, and also when it happened, there's all these stories of, oh, it stayed dark for, several days, and other parts, it stayed light for several days. Well, if it pivots and that the axis of its pivot is towards the sun and away from the sun, this side here is going to stay all nice and bright. This side is going to stay dark for several days as it, and as the from the trying to remember what it's called. There's the boundary layer between the mantle, the crust, everything liquefied. So basically, because the Earth core is lopsided, because all the ice built up there, now this wants to go as the Earth rotates, it wants to, suddenly it pivots because it wants to be at the wide part, because the Earth is not round. The Earth is kind of,
it's like egg-shaped.
No, not egg-shaped. It's like a squished ball, because it's around the equator being the widest point, because it's trying to, as its rotation, centrifugal force is pulling it that way. And so when this got heavier, it wanted to go to that point, 90-degree flip. And people says, well, there'd still be there'd be evidence of this. And he goes, well, look down in the tropical zone there in South of America. Hey, there are glaciers down there in the Andes and stuff.
Yeah,
they haven't melted. In 6,000 years they haven't melted. Well, they've melted slowly, but they're still there. They're going away, but they're still there.
Well, the further away from the equator you get, equal distance north and south, the cooler the weather gets. You get down towards like Argentina and inland and Uruguay and stuff, and it's like Washington. It's like Western Washington.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. So that's one of the things that I'm becoming more as a preparedness person, worried about my family. I've become more worried about, and it's like, okay, I want to make sure that here, because drawing the lines of where he says it's the possibility where they believe it, him and other scientists believe it, if it's going to flip or it's how it's going to turn. We'll be in probably a more temperate zone than we are now. But it's for several years there's going to be there's all going to be all sorts of all sorts of steam and dust and everything in the air, volcanic eruptions. So there's going to be stuff in the air for a couple of years to make it kind of hard. And so one of the things that I'm concerned about is, all right, if it doesn't happen until the 40s, okay, that's another 20 years from now. That puts me in my 80s, it puts me in my late 80s, maybe even into my 90s, depending when in the 40s it happens. All right, I've been around enough. But my wife is still 8 years younger than me, so I'm still concerned, and she lives longer than she'll live longer than I do. Just age-wise, the women live longer. Then I got I got my kids and grandkids already. Not sure if and when the other boys will have kids. I'm worried about future generations of my family. All right, good night, Suburban Hillbilly. And so there's certain things. Like Ben says, if you look at the time frame when it happened, humans survived. They didn't all die out. A lot of animals survived. Those that had prepared for it survived a lot better. And one of the things he quotes, which a lot of geologists and stuff were poo-pooing at first, there's that wall thing down in Texas.
Yeah, the skirt. You talking about the north to south skirt?
It's a structure type thing, and they're saying, oh, it's a natural occurrence. Well, natural occurrence doesn't use mortar.
Yeah.
And natural occurrence, the magnetic resonance of some of the stones should all be the same, not different. Because it was quote constructed before the flip, and he and other ones believe that this is a structure built to survive, and so there's possibly he shows other evidence of where at that time frame 6,000 years ago, people suddenly migrated into caves because they realized something was happening. And so, yeah, that's exactly. We are all descendants from the humans who survived. And you look at, so you have, the different ethnic, branches of the human family. Not to be racist here. Black, yellow, white, brown, different, ones survived, so.
And different people have, the different races of people have different characteristics,
Mm-hmm.
just like the different breeds of dogs. And the thing is, like these days, they used to talk about that in anthropology, like prior to World War II, but after World War II, basically they don't talk about, you can't say that. We're all the same,
Yeah. And, yeah, and so there's differences, and then there's different the languages and stuff changed so much too in 6,000 years.
Yeah. Well, it changed so much just in my lifetime. I mean,
yeah,
the stuff. I mean, look, the way teenagers and young people talk is just nonsense compared to what it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. What do they call it? Bubonics?
Yeah, bubonics.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to just Mother Nature, and the fact that humans have no impact on the sun. I mean, it's like saying this ant is going to affect that nuclear bomb over there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no telling. The sun affects us a lot more than what scientists believe or even admit or know,
Yeah. Well, some of them know it, but they refuse to admit it.
Yeah.
And because the energy from the sun is incredible, and saying they're just beginning to understand. Like Ben was saying, in the last 3 years, there are a lot of papers out. Oh, there is such thing as a micronova. Oh, you don't have to have two stars orbiting each other to have a nova. A star can do it on its own. And they're just beginning to realize that, a star will, dust and stuff will, moving through there's dust clouds moving through the universe and the galaxy here. And when a dust cloud comes over a star, it gets a lot of stuff on there. And sometimes it's so much, there's a lot of dust that just kind of impacts the star, and kind of like says forms a crust over it. And the star starts to cool a little bit, and all it wakes up and goes, and just throws it all off. It has to do with the galactic magnetic current as well.
Yeah, just because we can't see it or read it with something doesn't mean there isn't something going on that we don't understand.
Yeah. Wayne, Tibor, what he's talking about is there's the Earth that gets hit every 11 minutes by the magnetic resonant waves from the sun, because it's like a spiral of waves coming out. A bunch of thinking about all these different waves, and we get hit about every 11 minutes. Well, on the galactic scale, the Earth gets hit about every 6,000 years or so, or 12,000 years. one or the other on those. And I think it's every 12,000 years, and the half cycle is a major dip in it. And right now we are experiencing an uptick for the actual wave hitting our solar system. And they've now recognizing it hitting other stars and stuff, and the change in 100 years of a star, how it was reacting 100 years ago to how they see the light reaching us now. So they know during that time frame, whether it was 2,000 years ago for the light to get here or whatever, that got hit by something that caused the star to dim down, and it caused it to nova and not destroy itself, just nova and turn back bright again. So yeah, I mean, I would like to kind of see it too. I also hope it doesn't happen in my grandkid's lifetime. And hopefully by then the human race will be better prepared to survive something like that better on a whole.
Yeah, but we were probably more technologically advanced prior to the last time we got hit,
Oh yeah, I mean, being able to the technology to cut stone, however they were cutting it, and cut two ones, and and it meets perfectly that you can't even get a razor blade up inside there,
or like melt it together and melt it into blocks, like weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think ancient civilizations just had a different type of technology that we don't understand. And if you look at everything we have now, besides what we carve in the stone, everything will degrade over time. You take a computer, throw it out in the woods, stuff will grow over it, it'll get wet, it'll break down and degrade over time. And, 5,000-6,000 years from now, someone dug up our society, they might just find a couple heads carved on a mountain, some concrete foundations, and the remnants of our technology will just be wasted away.
Yeah.
So I think, it's human arrogance to say, oh, these people were, they weren't technologically advanced and they did it with massive slave labor, and they had to have some sort of technology. It probably just degraded over time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's the Library of Alexandria. Those that really know about it really bemoan the fact that it got sacked and burned.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't our religion, so we're going to burn it all.
Or the stuff that they find in the bottom of the med, like mechanical computers that track the galaxy and the sun and the moon and the stars. Like, they found this computer. I can't think of the name of it right now. In the bottom of the med, it goes back to ancient Greece. And they didn't know what it was at first, and they started counting the tines on the gears, and they started realizing that the tines on these gears, if you put them together and turned it around, ended up meeting with like different solar cycles and different lunar cycles, and it was basically a mechanical computer that tracked the movements of the moon, the sun, the earth, and can predict all kinds of stuff and predict
I saw a couple of videos on that.
Like it was just crazy, and they had all kinds of technology like that with the Library of Alexandria. Whatever had survived, basically, from prior civilizations that had collapsed, and when that burned, we lost so much more than we know.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like just trying to think back of to what those that were trying to, that were making the recovery, Da Vinci, Galileo, and some of their papers were destroyed.
Well, they found another library. So Alexandria wasn't the only library. It was the big one. But there was another library in the old Byzantine Empire somewhere in Constantinople. And that's what they found. Was, I don't know if it was like a library or some rich person's private library, but that was kind of uncovered, and that's what a lot of that is what led to the technology and the recreation during the Renaissance period, where they were trying to I don't think these guys were coming up with this stuff on their own. I think they were trying to recreate what they saw in that library.
Yeah. Or what they saw there inspired them to try to create something else.
Yeah. There's a lot of evidence that there was a library preserved by monks over there, and that a lot of these people during the Renaissance, they made pilgrimages over there to study in these libraries, and I think they were just
I wasn't
trying to
wrong one,
recreate it.
wrong one.
Oh,
I wasn't going to go there, Moon, but yeah.
yeah, Fifth
Okay,
Element.
so and
That would just be too easy if that was the case.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to spell this out here.
I'm not saying aliens didn't have a hand to play, because it's human arrogance to think that we're the only ones out here in an infinite universe.
Tickith. Here we go. Thank you, Stephanie. There's that the mechanism, ancient Greek. And let me see if I can get a bigger picture of it. Oh, come on, give me a big picture. Come on, there we go. A little bit bigger picture. And they took and rebuilt it. But they best think they could, try, match it up and rebuilt it. And some believe it was, that's how it was put together. But yeah, there is some incredible stuff that we just totally lost.
There's I can't think of his name. Pega. Fuck.
Hey, learn to survive. Yeah.
Brain damage. Pythagorean's theorem. I can't think of the damn name. But yeah, I'm not gonna get on that because I can't think of that Greek dude's name right now. But there's other things too, like in the chapel, that chapel in Scotland where the Templars fled to after Friday the 13th. I think it's Lorraine Chapel. There's all kinds of hidden stuff carved inside of that chapel, and one of the things was, so each musical note, like A, B, C, D, E, G, and F, they make a different geometric pattern when you put sand on a plate and vibrate it with that note. So they found in this chapel, I think it was Chapel Lorraine, the one in Scotland, there was a little piece of something broken off up in the corner. So this guy, the stonemason, went up to repair it, and this is in modern times, and he looked at it and he saw there was this little geometric pattern on it. So he started going around the chapel with a ladder and finding that off each of the pillars or whatever length of the wall where the support comes up, that there's another stone block with a geometric pattern in it. And these geometric patterns are musical notes. It's a song. It's some kind of code in song. Written into this. It's actually something I've been meaning to dig back into, because I want to play it on the guitar and see what it sounds like. I want to figure out what the pattern is.
Yeah. So Steph put in the comments there, Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem. Now, let me show. So going backwards. So this is that, the mechanism. They put it, calculating things out and everything else on it. And yeah, I mean, you just got all sorts of stuff. Moon phases, planet phases, matching up with other eclipse predictions, and yeah.
And there's two of those made. I believe there's two of them that we know of. One of them was found in the bottom of the ocean. Another one's recorded to go to some king or royal person's palace. But if there had to be mechanical computers for other things too, if they figured that out,
Pythagore. There we go. Pythagorean theorem. Did I spell it right or did I spell it wrong?
Yeah. Start playing the song,
Oh,
figure it
I
out, and
spelled it
aliens
wrong.
start dropping out of the sky.
Yeah, I did P-A instead of P-Y. Pythagorean.
Yeah, he was the one that figured out the 12 notes by using different length hollow rods and the way they vibrate. Like, that dude was really smart. Yeah, hopefully I don't cause like a continental shelf to break off or something when I figure it out and play it.
Yeah, that goes to angles and stuff. I don't see anything on notes here yet. But Close Encounters of a Third Kind.
So yeah, that Pythagorean, I think it's Pythagorean. Terrible with the Greek names, but he was the one, I believe, that also discovered the geometric patterns with the notes. When he figured out the 12 notes, and then he also figured out the when you play certain notes and the geometric patterns on the plates of sand. Like, the dude was super smart.
Yeah.
But those same geometric patterns can be found in stoneworks, and I didn't know about that until after I was back from my last deployment, because I planned a lot of my trips where I was working around historical sites and ancient churches and palaces, so I could do my own archaeology with my own and see if my own theories were correct. And yeah, I wish I would have known about that one to specifically look for stuff like that.
For some reason, with her comment here and what you said, I can just see, the notes, and all of a sudden this like giant spaceship comes up out of the earth. This is your evacuation ship. This is your evacuation ship. Time to leave before the earth flips.
It starts the chain of events in the Fifth Element. Some dude sitting in his house playing guitar.
Newsflash from the Mediterranean. A submerged city is rising to the surface. Yeah. But it's like, I'm trying to remember who was out there, who was saying it. Was it Martin Refugee that mentioned it? It was one of the other ones was saying, talking about things. And I typed in the comment, I said, be prepared for life, whatever it brings. And he goes, yeah, too many people are preparing for one thing and not just preparing to live. And so, we can talk about all this stuff, but we shouldn't focus on it as, this is it. I'm getting tunnel vision. I'm getting target fixation. Because then you could get hit by the wildfire or the earthquake or something else that could come in and take you out if you get tunnel vision on just one thing.
Yeah, most people focus on the event or the disaster, and they don't focus on, after the fact.
Yeah. Rock music is breaking ice sheets. Which rock music is that, Tibor? Is that rock and roll? Is that hard rock? Is that the I forget what the one called, where they bash into each other and they're dancing, they're just smacking into each other, or is that the one where they just scream their heads off? You can't understand a word they're saying. I wouldn't doubt that the Knights Templar found a bunch of stuff during the Crusades and stuff, and there are probably things hidden elsewhere, because they sacked and raided a lot of stuff, and there are rumors that they did not bring everything back to Europe like they were instructed to.
Yeah, they were. I think that they were actually a good organization for the time, and they upheld their oaths. And that was part of the problem with the Catholic Church was they were gaining too much power, and because they basically developed the modern banking system, because
Yeah.
pilgrims would put in their life savings and then also pay the Knights Templar a certain amount of protection money, right, to go with them along the pilgrimage to Jerusalem and fight off any attackers and keep them safe, and then come back. So they had this giant racket going, and they developed. They had their own castles. They had their own training facilities.
Hmm.
All the knights had to swore an oath, basically become a warrior monk. I mean, they had really a lot of the modern military systems and a lot of the modern banking systems that we have today go all the
Hmm.
way back to that. And I think the Catholic Church saw it as a threat when
I
these
think
these
they may have saw it
people.
a little bit of a threat. They thought, but I'm trying to remember which king it was. I think it was the king of Spain that owed a lot of money to the Templars, a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah, there was
and he
that too.
and he went to the Pope and said, "Hey, if we get rid of these guys, I don't have to pay all these guys all these money. I can pay some of it to you, but I need you to excommunicate them so we can go after them."
Yeah, I think he convinced the Pope and everything to turn on him because they s- I think the Catholic Church saw him as a threat for a while too, because they had equal, if not more, power because of the military force they had behind their money.
Yeah,
And most of their the knights and stuff, they swore oaths and they were loyal to the Knights Templar organization, and that was a problem for the Catholic Church and the kings of Europe,
yeah,
because they had this giant, powerful force that wasn't loyal to anyone in their realm.
yeah. Wasn't loyal to a particular king sitting on a throne somewhere.
And yeah, once they served their purpose for the church, they turned on them.
Yeah. The I'm trying to remember which one of those shows I was watching, but they were talking about that the Knights Templars had actually gotten in with the some of the Vikings
Yeah,
and actually made it to a couple of them had made it to the United States, over to the North American continent.
yeah. That would be the. So there's rune stones. There's the one that was found in Minnesota
Hmm.
that was originally declared a hoax. Anything that's found prior to Columbus is declared a hoax, or the Smithsonian buys it up before it becomes popular, and they put it in the basement of the Smithsonian. And they even admit to doing this, so we know what happens. And
Yeah.
they basically declare everything a hoax. But the one that they found in Minnesota is not a hoax. The runes are correct for the time period, and they use a hooked X, which was a unique type of the X rune.
Hmm.
That was so you have different periods too. You have younger Futhark, which is prior to the Viking Age, and you have elder Futhark, which is prior to the Viking Age, and younger Futhark, which is post Viking Age, and they use the correct period. And anywhere, so you had many Vikings made it to North Africa and the Middle East,
Hmm.
and you had one group in particular, Harold Bluetooth. He actually was the leader of the Varangian Guard in Constantinople. So many Vikings had made it over there, and the vast majority of them were traders. But in that society, if you had three sons, unlike the rest of the Europeans, where if you had three sons, you kept one to take the throne and the land and everything after you passed away, and then the other two would get sent off as monks somewhere.
Hmm.
So in the Scandinavian, Germanic societies, your other son, your head son was to take the land and the wealth, and your other sons were basically expected to make a life out of themselves. So many of them became raiders. They were able to get loans from their families who were wealthier and build a ship and go on raiding parties. and build wealth that way. And a lot of other ones became traders. They traded the Baltic amber all over the world because in different like North Africa, Europe, and other places, they really valued Baltic amber, and that was really the only thing they had to trade. So they became traders, and the vast majority of them were traders and farmers. It was
Mhm.
just we only know about the Viking Age, and the terror is because of the monks were the only really educated people in Europe and
Right.
wrote about them at the time, and they didn't like them. So, but so the younger sons were expected to do something for themselves and build their own wealth. They weren't like other cultures where they just send them off to be monks somewhere or do something else. And
Mhm.
that's really where you get a lot of these Viking raids from, was because there wasn't a lot of good farmland up there, so they had to go somewhere else. And
Okay.
they the one thing is wrestling and fighting were kind of like the national sport. Everyone wrestled, everyone learned to fight. So they were and they rode everywhere, so they were built like hell. And when they got to Europe, they were terrifying because they were strong, they knew tactics, they knew how to fight. So a lot of kings would hire these guys.
Yeah.
So the king of Constantinople at the time hired a ton of these dudes and put together his own royal palace military called the Varangian Guard. And when he couldn't take a place by military force, he sent those guys out. And a lot of them, a lot of European kings and even the church would hire these boat crews because they were expert sailors and could sail up rivers and all around the world. And they sent them out all over the world. Charlemagne actually sent crews out all over the world exploring the world. And some of these ruins that are found in Minnesota and up the Mississippi River and in parts of Oklahoma are from that time period and have the hooked X, and were crews that have names on them. Like there's some that they found in New Mexico that are lead crosses with runes carved into them, and the
Mhm.
names are from the time period of people that worked with Charlemagne that Charlemagne sent out. And they have tested the lead and found that it came from like the same hills where they found them, and they're not hoaxes. And the runes are correct and the hooked X's are correct for the time period and the people that were there. But it's like an automatic thing whenever you find something from before Columbus, no matter if it's real or not. It's they just label it a hoax. And the Smithsonian tries to buy it so they can put it in their vault.
Yeah. Now, I was trying to remember that book, Kon-Tiki, where they built a reed boat and sailed from the Middle East. I think it was around the Horn of Africa.
Yeah. I've seen one. They did a similar one in South America where they built a reed boat and sailed it across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because there's all kinds of evidence of cross continental trade and everything. In South America, you have chickens from the Polynesian islands, which originated in Asia. So if you have chickens in South America that originated in Asia, who is the seafaring people on that side of Polynesians were traveling and trading, and you find sweet potatoes and stuff from South America and Polynesia,
Yeah.
but they don't want to admit to any of that.
Yeah. That would mean that they're smarter than they thought they were.
Yeah. You mean famous people who are specifically famous for being sailors and navigating the globe couldn't trade with these people? Like,
Yeah.
it's the same with the Vikings. They find runes all over. There's runes on mountains and all the way down in Colombia. There's runes on mountains in, I think, was it Paraguay? And they find dogs in Peru. In South America, they find Icelandic sheepdogs. And so the Peruvians in the mountains, they mummified their people
Hmm.
like the Egyptians do, but a different method. And they found mummified dogs too. They would mummify the dogs with their masters. Well, they decided to test some of these mummy dogs' DNA and figure out what breeds they were, or if it's a different breed that we don't have today. And it came back they were purebred Icelandic sheepdogs. And there's only one people who had those dogs, and they're famous for sailing around the world, but they couldn't have possibly been there. you know
Yeah.
and they come up with these stupid explanations like, well, maybe they traded it with a tribe near Lane Sun Medicals in North or Meadows in North Canada, and they traded it to a different tribe in the Americas, and they traded it to a different tribe in Mexico. Well, this dog would have been crossbred and interbred with different dogs so many times, it wouldn't be an Icelandic sheepdog.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of evidence of cross Atlantic and cross Pacific trade.
Yeah.
It's just, and this is
And different type boats too of them doing it.
yeah, yeah. There's a forge in North Australia. So the one thing that they know specifically was Vikings is if they find a forge, if they find, because they have to repair and refit their ships, and they know specifically that it was Vikings because it's the first thing they built when they landed was a forge, so they can make nails and stuff to fix their ships. They found one in northern Australia. I mean, these guys were everywhere. They were sailing up the rivers, up to Asia. I mean, they find Asian coins and golden Buddhas in like Bronze Age, Finland and Sweden and Norway. Like these dudes have been doing it since at least 300 BC. We know that the longship goes back to.
Yeah. And what's so interesting is that European sailors, when they crossed the equator, all of a sudden they got all screwed up.
Yeah.
So they figured it out. And they're saying, well, these guys couldn't have figured it out. They're not as smart as us. Well, they probably were a lot smarter than you and figured it out a long time earlier because they were doing it a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. And Europeans were sailing across the Atlantic. It was just a trade secret. The Basque fishermen were sailing across the Atlantic, trading with the natives for fresh goods that they needed, and then sailing off the coast of North America.
Yeah.
They even way beyond that, when they first got landed in Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
Greenland is on a North American continental shelf. You can see Canada from Greenland.
Yeah.
And they act like, oh, it's impossible. Like they could literally see it from the west side of Greenland.
Yeah. That's
Or the Azores. They knew that there was something west of the Azores. There were so many, people, and the Phoenicians would sail around. They would sail out of the Rock of Gibraltar, around the Horn of Africa, the northern Horn of Africa, down to the Canary Islands, and then west from there. I mean, there's all kinds of ancient copper mines from the Bronze Age in Michigan in the Great Lakes region, and there's Phoenician carvings and drawings in there because we knew that they didn't have enough copper there wasn't enough copper in Europe to fuel the Bronze Age.
Right.
And that's a fact. And when they test the purity of like fine copper objects they find out of the Bronze Age, the Michigan copper, when they test the purity, it's something crazy like 98% pure. And when they test the purity of the copper in these Bronze Age objects in Europe, it comes back with the same purity many times with the copper in Michigan. So there's tons of evidence out there. I don't know why it's hidden. I really don't. There's no, especially these days, like it's not like somebody's going to be like, oh, my people landed in the States first, so we claim your country. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why it's fully hidden and why it is the way it is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. This, stars, travel with stars and everything else. And who knows what other sort of devices they had besides the time the Europeans created the sextant to travel by.
They use the stars and the sun. The Viking compass, for example, it is completely misunderstood. Scientists are not land navigators. Most of them don't know how to fucking navigate. I'm sorry. Most of
That's
them.
okay. We're more than 15 minutes in. We're about 3 hours in.
Most of them don't know how to. They're scientists. They sit in their little computers and they run little test experiments, and they're not wilderness people or sailors or navigators. And the Viking compass, they say, oh, they put it in a bucket of water and they used it like a water compass. No, they use it as a shadow board. If you can take any piece of wood, stick a post in it, and watch as the sun comes down and it hits, and watch it go around the board, and then you can make your markings and you can tell what direction you're going by the sun, just like a shadow. Like you see those big stone shadow things. You can
Mhm.
do the same thing with a board and a stick. And what they did was they made a compass like that, and then they took this semi-precious stone called Icelandic spar, and I have some. And what you do is you take the Icelandic spar, and it has like an effect where you see, like, I forget what it's called, the effect, but you see like two of something out the other side. It's not completely
Mhm.
clear. And what you do is you can mark, you can take some charcoal, you can take a Sharpie, and you can mark two lines on it to make sure it's lined up. And what you can do is if it's cloudy and you can't see the sun, you can hold it up to the clouds and you can use those lines as a reference until you find the sun on the horizon. You can actually see a glowing ball in the clouds. You can see the sun through it. And then you can take your shadow board. It's not 100% accurate, but if you're navigating from the shadow board day in and day out, you kind of got a good idea of the angle of the sun, where it's going to hit the post and where the shadow is going to be. So you can keep sailing in the correct direction.
Yeah.
And they always do it wrong when they do these experiments. They put it in a bucket of water like it's some kind of water compass, and it's not. It's not
Yeah.
how it works at all.
All right. Good night, Kaylin. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much that knowledge that most people today don't even know exists,
Yeah.
especially if they're under 25.
Yeah.
My youngest son is finally getting into this stuff, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell me this?" I tried telling you some of that stuff. Some of it you listen to, other you just kind of like, not important to me now. Now it is.
Yeah, I think I was about 17 or 18 when I really started. I mean, I was already into history. I was already into like the history of my state and going to different places, but I was doing some research on the revolution, and then I learned about the Sons of Liberty. And I was like, "Oh, why didn't they teach this in school?" This is like a hugely important part of our history. And they didn't teach it in school. I mean, I knew school was kind of garbage anyways, but at this point, I kind of figured out that basically everything they taught us was a lie. So that kind of sent me down the path of learning about the American Revolution, the French Indian War, and everything that led up to it, and the different groups involved, and things like the Sons of Liberty and the stuff that they did that was incredible, that wasn't written in the history books, like hijacking the Boston port ship. So the Boston Port Authority, English ship that would go around and raid other ships and stuff to make sure their cargo was on the up and up. The Sons of Liberty organized a march in Boston, and they threw ropes around this ship with grappling hooks and had horses and they pulled the ship up onto the shores in the port and like lit it on fire and burned it down in the middle of the city right in front of the British port office. I mean, they did all kinds of crazy stuff leading up to the war, stuff we never learned about in school.
Yeah.
And the just a ton of that stuff was going on, and it was so I got really, really into that, and I got really into the history of the Rangers and all kinds of stuff.
I just want to notice what Tibor was saying. If they're made correctly, they can be the water board. Shadow boards work. If made correctly, they can be more accurate than a compass. More so because they don't use declination.
Yeah.
And right now, with the movement of the magnetic North Pole over the last 20 years, yeah.
And that's what bothers me about mapping compass, the way that the poles move. Because you have north, and then you have magnetic north, and you have true north, and then the best way is to learn how to dead reckon. If you have a good sense of direction, naturally sense of direction, you can learn dead reckoning.
Yeah.
Like I never use a compass other than to occasionally check my bearing.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting tired myself, and I got to get some stuff in the morning. And for the rest of this week, I got to babysit the 4 boys across the street. Spent this afternoon over there with them. And so, yeah, because my daughter works the last weekend, the last day of the month through the weekend. So she worked today, being the last day of the month, through Saturday. So, yeah, so I'm going to have 4 more days of babysitting boys over there. I did pick up a box of pizza from Costco today.
Yeah.
Frozen pizza, the stuff they love. And I got some. I also picked up some grilled fully cooked frozen chicken breasts that I can give 3 of the boys. The oldest one will not touch chicken. I got to see if I can convince him some way of trying chicken tomorrow. He makes black powder rifles. Hold it. Okay, he uses a compass when cooling the barrels. Wayne, here's a question for you.
Well, Clovis culture, I think, came from north. The Folsom people were here before the Clovis people. They find when you dig deeper layers, you have the Folsom people. I don't think that the Clovis people or the natives in general came from Mongolia. I think they were already here. They have their own cultures, their own tradition, their own religion. They didn't need Christianity. A lot of the Christians came out and they're like, "We're here to save you." It's like, well, we're not looking. We have our own religion, So that's just a big. I don't want to say lie, but I think it's just a big. In the future, that'll probably be proven wrong. The whole land bridge theory. Yes, there was a land bridge, but the land bridge on the other side to Europe was actually closer than the land bridge to Asia, and there is evidence of ice age people from Europe coming down, because when we dig into the swamps, I find a lot of actual bodies and arrowheads and stone tools preserved that match the stone tools in Europe. But we don't find that with the Clovis people. The stone tools and the things they leave behind don't match the stone tools in Asia.
Right.
So I think the Clovis people were already here, and they may have been further north, and they came down and wiped out the Folsom people that were here before them.
Yeah. All right. So today's Tuesday. Friday on Camp Patton is we're going to be talking about 6 more weeks of winter. Monday is on Camp Patton Family Compound is going to be what are you willing to give up for your goal, whether it's a homestead, whether it's whatever you want to do. We're learning skills. Whether you want to have sheep, goats, whatever you want, whatever your big goal is, what are you willing to give up for it? That's what we're going to be talking about that. And the next Tuesday is we're talking here about sanitation in winter. So it's a little bit different than sanitation in summertime. Because everybody goes, oh, you get all these scouts. Oh, he's a Boy Scout. I know how to do a trench line in the snow.
You get a couple of minutes after this, Gil?
Okay. All right, folks. Thank you all for coming in. And if you're not subscribed to Wayne, my hand ain't right, get over here and subscribe to him. And we will see you. So next time is Thursday night at 12 o'clock midnight Eastern time. So for the midnight ride, and we'll have it not running an open chat similar to this then as well. All right, folks. Thank you for coming in, and we will see you later.
Thank you.